we do go back and we do compare it to Gears, the only thing that really moved Gears forward was the fact that they have no idea what was going on and they're trying to figure out where the locust came from. It wasn't really like, I don't know, like it was not at all, because
they don't even know where the guys of the swarm are.
No, the swarm story, that's there, yeah, for sure. But what moves it forward is Kate trying to get back her mom, and then also what's his name, JD trying to get back Marcus as well. That's what moves it forward. The whole swarm thing is like, oh shit, like we just came across this like.
But do you not see how that's a problem? That doesn't push forward the story. That doesn't push over. That's why the ending is so disappointing. It's like, oh, like it feels like
you had to know that it wasn't gonna be.
It's like
what were you expecting? It's a setup game.
I knew this was a setup game. Of course, you're gonna have a Gears 5.
Here's the problems with it, bro. It's like it's just like Deus Ex, bro. It's like it gets you all excited for this big thing because everybody was expecting it. I knew it was coming my way. I'm like, that's the reason why he didn't kill the mom. The mom looks just like the Locust Queen. He's gonna transform Locust. But what?
But here's the hole in your argument, Ethos. Mankind Divided is the second game in the trilogy. We're talking about a first game.
But I'm saying it's the same feeling.
Second game.
Yeah, Human Revolution.
Yeah, Mankind Divided is the second game. Yeah,
it's the second game.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were talking about.
I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about the feeling it gave me. It reminded me of exactly what Mankind Divided gave me.
I don't think that's a good example because that's supposed to be Empire Strikes
regardless,
Back, so that's understandable why it disappointed
regardless of that, the biggest, it's not even disappointment. I had no expectation. I was like, I'm just going to play this campaign. I'm expecting at least the fundamentals. It failed from what a Gears game was. You had fucking black dude over here cracking corny ass jokes, not making a funny joke.
JD cracked more jokes than the black guy.
My thing is, what game did you play? Because the original trilogy, is exactly like 4. Like it's a cheesy popcorn movie, bro. What are you talking about?
I disagree because like Gears 1 had this gritty brutality about it that was like really like shit was serious. Like
it was gritty. What was gritty about Coltrane running around and saying "ooh" and Beard yelling and cussing out everybody? The only emotional thing that was in Gears was Maria and Dom's suicide. Other than that, like it was. Oh, and
I'm talking about gritty. I'm talking about gritty. The way the game, the atmosphere of the game, it doesn't portray that.
And Ty too. I don't know if you remember Ty in Gears 3.
It does. I don't give a fuck. Ty's irrelevant, bro. What I'm talking about is there's a ton of fucking. It's like Gears of War 4 for kids. It's Gears of War for kids. Like, for example, the only times I laughed or genuinely was enjoying the game was when Marcus was part of the squad. When he was gone, I was bored out of my mind. That says something off the bat. The characters are in my opinion, one-dimensional.
JD
boring. JD is the most boring character.
I was thinking in my head.
I said JD's boring.
Nathan Drake of War 4. Nathan Drake of War 4.
Marcus, who is a fucking stone, has more personality than that man. That's when you know you got a fucking character.
To be completely honest with you, I feel like the main character should have been Del.
Who's Del? The black guy?
Yeah.
No, not Del.
Bro, he was way better than Jake.
She had, according to what you said, the story-wise, she should have been the main character because obviously she was the whole point of the entire fucking campaign was to get her mom.
In defense of the game, I'll say maybe the reason why there was no connection is because they were trying to establish that they were kind of like they weren't even wet behind the ears. They didn't really have any experience. Because if you notice, when Marcus was like escorting them all, like they just kept asking questions. Are you sure? This, that, and the third. So it was weird because like at the beginning, it made the three seem like they were experienced people who went AWOL, fuck the cog, and then once Marcus came along, they became kids. That's
what I don't understand. They set up the whole story saying that Del and JD were in the cog for multiple years, and they should have had the experience to deal with this shit. They didn't. They acted like they had no clue what it was. And you think at least they could have done I'm just saying the ending. This is what I think the ending should have been. The ending. I'm not saying Marcus should have died because I predicted he was gonna die. So it kind of like I was like, oh, I knew he was gonna die. Then when they brought him back, I was like, oh, well, that was a little twist. That was the only thing that caught me. But other than that, this is how it should have ended. It should have ended with either Marcus or them handing the torch to the next, not holding them by the hand, handing them the torch and saying, you're the next generation of Gears, get this shit done, which they never do, which is what they should have established in this first game. And second, they shouldn't have killed the mom.
I think the
mom should have been the mom. Hold on, let me just finish. The mom should have came out, and instead of them killing her, she should have been revealed as becoming the next Locust Queen. Why? Because the problem is, which is why Gears 1 is vastly superior. Gears 1 had a dominant villain, Graham. You knew you wanted to kill that nigga. You wanted to get revenge for that man for all that shit he did. And that's why it was so satisfying at the end when you killed him. This game does not have that. The guy who's supposed to be the villain is some irrelevant ass drone who they kill off, and then there's a missing side of where's the villain? Where's this guy that I'm supposed to be focusing for? And then in the end, they just say, let's just throw this big ass monster at you that has no context. See, this is the difference, right? You remember in this is why Gears 1 is, in my opinion, superior. Remember how in Gears 1 that the crab, it continuously hunted you down throughout the campaign as a build-up to the escalation of, oh shit, now we get to kill him. They don't do that. They just drop him in front of you and say, kill this nigga. And then when you kill him, it doesn't feel like this is the end. It feels like, okay, this feels like in my opinion.
I didn't know that was the final boss fight. I thought it was leading up to something else.
When he said this isn't over, I was like, okay, we about to go to the next act. There must be something else. No, it cuts off. And I'm just like,
I give you that.
What the fuck?
It kind of just cuts off
this shit is this, and then I was like, okay, that was underwhelming as shit. And then I'm telling you, watch, they're gonna drop some DLC to continue the story. They're gonna do that, or they're gonna wait for the sequel. It's one of the two, and I'm betting it's DLC.
So let me ask you, from a gameplay standpoint, though, you didn't like the mech suits?
Oh, no, that's what I was saying. I said that was one of the cool things. I like the segment with the mech. Like I was like, oh, this is hype. But when you think about it, at the end,
I was gonna say,
that
you're just upset with the story, pretty much.
I'm upset with the story, and I'm set up by the design of the game.
Like, the one thing I will shit on is the goddamn horde mode in the campaign.
Yeah, they brought that
shit got me so upset.
That's what I'm talking about.
What is this, bro?
Like that's what I'm talking about. It's like they take one step forward and then they take 3 steps back in different parts of the gameplay. It's like the gameplay is the best it's ever been. It's tight. It's great. It's a perfection of all the gears combined. I can't knock it for that. It's great, but it gets very monotonous.
Shotgun be kind of wonky sometimes.
Yeah, that.
Like, because even in single player, there have been times where I've pulled up on a locust and like they
I just realized you gotta have.
I was playing hardcore.
You got it. It's consistent with actives that they want you to use it.
Yeah, they want you to use it. I was playing hardcore, and these niggas were like not letting me shotgun them. Like hardcore, I died at least a couple. Like I died a lot of times. Because
I will say though, like with that ending, they made the storyline predictable. Because wait, Steve, do you care about Gears?
You might want to leave. Yeah.
they made the storyline predictable because it's like, now that we know she's the granddaughter of the Locust Queen, we know exactly where the story is.
But how do we know that?
But here's this is what Gears. I'm calling it right now. But this is what Gears 5 is.
No, leave, Flock, leave.
Get out.
Leave now.
That's what y'all on, man.
Leave. Run.
Can we play this game, man? Before y'all start talking about this bullshit. I'm gonna
leave.
leave, but I just want to ask a question real quick.
Okay. Yeah.
Can we play this game though? Since I got this shit on PC now.
Yeah. Let's finish talking about this. We'll be
bruh, my goddamn
fucking niggers. I'm going down here.
We saving you, bro. We saving you.
All right. Y'all talking what I think y'all talking about?
Yeah.
You finished.
Like that. That's what I'm talking about.
I beat it already. Yeah.
Me and Ace were DMing it. It's like that's the problem, right? The ending does not tell you that. It is you're speculating. Oh, that must she must be the.
I would imagine if you're new to Gears, the ending is confusing as fuck.
It's a medallion when she gets it from her. The medallion.
It's the medallion the Locust Queen was wearing. She's the granddaughter.
Yeah, she's the granddaughter.
How?
That's why I'm trying to figure out. And
you probably just don't remember from Gears 3. That's
but I'm saying they don't explain like how though.
Here's the thing though.
Did Marcus's dad knock her up? Is that what happened?
Look, this is and that's a theory too. But look, that's
something that they'll explain in the next game. I think you're reading too much into it. It's
it's
supposed to make you think ethos, and it's actually working.
Yeah,
it's not working when there's no context. There's no.
You don't know if she had a kid before before Marcus killed him.
She was human. That's the thing. She was human.
So they're copying StarCraft 2. That's basically what they're doing. They're just copying the story to StarCraft 2 because that's basically what Kerrigan is in a nutshell. That's literally a copy and paste of StarCraft 2 story.
Like I said earlier, I was saying earlier that I was like, it makes the storyline predictable because Gears 5 is gonna be the Swarm are gonna go to every fucking COG settlement looking for Kate, and they're gonna destroy the whole world looking for her basically.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what though? And then Ethos and I were talking about this in the DMs. I don't know if you just mentioned it when the ending at the ending scene at the uncle getting out, because I thought he had got stabbed in the heart.
Oh yeah, I thought.
I don't know where they're going with that part.
No. Well, here's the thing. That is her brother. So if that, because that's
they're gonna make a king.
I thought that was her uncle.
That's her exactly.
That's the mom's brother.
My bad.
That's the mom's brother. So he shares that same blood. He shares that same bloodline. So they're gonna go after him, and they're gonna go after his niece because that whole the mother thing was predictable about making her queen.
It was hella
that shit was very predictable.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense why they left him still alive in the little catcher thing, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
When you don't die inside the catcher.
You don't die in the
you don't die until you're in a pod.
Okay.
Into the pod. That's why they were catching people who they wanted to catch for sure.
I feel like you're being a little too harsh on it. I enjoyed it, but I understand where you're coming from.
Nah,
what I will say is, when Gears 5 comes out, if they don't put some really good plot twists in it, you have every right to trash can it.
No, what I say is I do this just like we say with every other product. I'm not fucking grading the trilogy. I'm grading this game as this individual product. Would I tell somebody to pick this game up right now for a great story? Absolutely not. I would not. I would tell them to throw this shit in the trash, bro.
Do you know what? While I agree with you on the story, I feel like there's enough content here to still recommend.
I agree with that. I'm not saying if you're a multiplayer head, pick it up day one, like go get it. But if you're like me, like I'm more of a I care about the story and the progression. Believe it or not, like I'm a huge story person of Gears.
No, I know, bro. We be Witcher, fam. We be Witcher.
Yeah. Like I love the story of Gears. I love the universe and atmosphere. Like, hell, I read a Gears book for fucking crying out loud.
Record.
I love. But
a lot of niggas have not beaten The Witcher, fam, and especially haven't beaten Blood and Wine. Okay,
I know, but that's all I'm saying. Like, just from my perspective, I think that the game is just a fucking disappointment. I just know there's so many areas it could have just. Like, I don't think it's a game of the year contender because of that.
Nobody said that.
No one said that.
I mean,
I just don't think it's as bad as you're making it out. Like it's like it's a C to me.
But just understand, even though I'm being very negative, what would you give the game right now?
It's a C.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's what I give it. I give it a C. I'm just being harsh on it. I'm critiquing it. That's the problem.
It's a C in game itself. I mean, I was into the story. I thought it was dope that they did like at the beginning where they did before E-Day and everything like that.
That was the best part of the entire. That was the best part of the entire game.
The pendulum wars and all that shit. That part was dope.
That shit was dope, and
then the robot shit lasted forever, dog.
Forever.
That was a fucking
forever.
That was Watch Dogs bad. Like I have not been that fatigued since like Watch Dogs.
Bruh, but look, did y'all mention that Gears
like that would have been so much funner with a homie? Like
did y'all mention that Gears 5 and Halo 5 kind of ended the same? Like it was setting up for the next story.
Halo 4.
Well, this is Gears 4. This is Gears 4.
Excuse me. Gears 4.
It's that's what I was trying to bring up about. It's funny because I was watching some critiques on Halo's story. And it seems like Gears has the same issue where it's like it doesn't have a real villain and the villain's never ever thrown out and the game doesn't give a lot of context and it ends on like basically it fucks up a lot of the original.
You got to blame Microsoft for that because they want to milk it. They should have let it die at 3.
We already know the truth. That wasn't what happened. They bought it out from Epic. Was like, we're done with it. Like we don't want to make more of this shit.
But my only question.
That's why the coalition is making this.